to Fanatically Correct. Brought to you by us, fans like you, but mostly us.
You're not here. You're with your trouble. If you're with your trouble when fighting happens, more trouble for you. Just so.
How can you be quick as a snake? Or as quiet as a shadow? When you are somewhere else, do you pray to the gods?
The old and the new.
There is only one God, and his name is death. And there is only one thing we say to death. Not today.
In a dark corner of the world, three men will work together to bring you a podcast like no other. This is Fanatically Correct, where the fans, the geeks, and the nerds are always correct. With your host, MSK, Yo Peace, and Omega.
Spoilers. We really shouldn't have to warn if anyone listened to the last reaction and the reaction before that. And the reaction before that. But in case you didn't read the synopsis or the title that will most likely put, there's going to be spoilers for Game of Thrones. So if you're not caught up, this is your last chance.
Spoilers. I'm not gonna lie. I don't read the synopsis for the show either.
At all.
Well,
I don't. Even when I type it in, I don't read it.
Yeah. Night King's dead. Arya killed him. There, spoiled. So if you weren't listening, if you didn't pay attention, that just happened.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, I guess we said in our reaction, our last reaction for episode 3 of the final season of Game of Thrones, that we would have to do a mid-season review, which is what we're doing right now. I'm your host, Omega.
MSK.
Yo Peace.
And I guess, we're just going to stick to this season, because I'm sure after the season ends, we can do another full overlook of the whole series and, how the road
definitely. Let's just stick to this season, because enough has
we'll
happened.
Stick to episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, plenty. And we pretty much just had initial reactions to each one of the first 3 episodes, and we just gave an initial reaction immediately after watching it, night of, just a 20 to 30 minute, a take on it and what we thought, how we felt, all that good stuff. And I guess now we can get a little bit more detail of looking at it as a story arc of 3 episodes, because it kind of feels like it's going to be 2 seasons now, So, and which makes sense because he's got 2 books, R.R. Martin, going, and I think that's pretty much what the show is reflecting. The next book is probably going to be the first 3 episodes of Game of Thrones, which was resolved the whole undead and Night King situation, and then the second book, the last 3 episodes of the show, will be who ends up on the Iron Throne.
He's right. He has 2 books. He's coming out with 2 more books right now.
Yes, he's writing. Yeah, he has 2 books left in the series. The show went right past him, but it looks like the way it's wrapping up, that's what the 2 books are going to be. Episodes 1 through 3, the Night King, Winterfell, all of that, and
so he's basically letting the writers finish it off for him.
Pretty much. Yeah, I think he's waiting to see what mistakes they make or don't make, or what people liked and didn't like, and then take credit for it.
That's the smartest way of writing.
Smart.
That's the smartest way of writing.
He's smart.
He's genius. So I guess let's start with Yopi, since he wasn't. I did read your notes off in the reaction episode, but if there was anything else you thought of after the fact, we'll kind of go a little. So, what was your take? What was your watch party? Yeah. Did you flip a table?
No, I didn't flip a table because Ghost is still with us.
He lived.
I mean, they didn't show him, but
they showed him. It was just like nothing. 2 seconds.
Yeah, he is in the trailers. And just one other quick update since our reaction last night, or when we released it, whenever you heard it, Rhaegar has also been confirmed as alive. The second dragon was also seen in the trailers. Yeah. So the wolf and the dragon.
No, but I mean on the actual episode, they show him go away, and they didn't show him again. So, once again, they're giving us the mediocre Ghost, and I guess the CGI. I guess the money on the CGI is gonna get better now.
Look,
for
man,
him,
it's all about
so
the budget. It's the budget.
Let's just hope for that.
And Viserion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we lose one dragon. We still have 2 other dragons, so I don't know if he's still gonna get a lot of time. Maybe like 5 minutes. 5 minutes more.
They're not CGIing on undead now. You know, they don't have to CGI the undead crawling and running. And
it's one less dragon,
so should be CGI budget now.
Yeah.
Yeah, one less dragon and no White Walkers. So
Right.
I think they can fit him in.
So my reaction
And
though,
a little bit of ghost.
my reaction was so I had to watch this. I was at work. I had to watch this in a couple of scenes. So it took me like a good. How long was this episode? Like an hour and a half.
It was about an hour and a half. Yeah.
Yeah. So it almost took me 3 hours to watch this thing.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So it was bits and pieces.
Have you rewatched it?
Yes,
Have
I
you
did.
rewatched
I
it
did
yet?
rewatch
Full-
it.
okay.
So
Yeah, I think everyone did.
Okay.
yeah. So my initial reaction, I loved it. And then my second reaction, I loved it. I still love it. There are things that I guess need explanation for some people, and I don't understand what is going on with the audience nowadays.
Yeah. They're crazy.
I'm
lost their
getting
mind.
Legit questions.
there's legitimate questions coming at me, and are just very.
Just name one. Let me hear one question. Let me hear one question.
One question that I got was, is Arya flying now?
Is Arya flying now?
Yeah, like does she have flying abilities? Technically,
That he has to have been joking. I don't know.
I really hope I really hope that I'm getting troll about
trolling
this.
you. Yeah,
because if that's a legitimate question, we are having problems with the viewers of Game of Thrones and this.
Yeah.
I hope that they when they watch this, they understand at the end that it is a fantasy world, right? Like, you guys agree with us, right? Like with me, right? Like
Yes.
it's a fantasy.
We had the same problem with last season with the whole, and even though that was wrong because people just weren't calculating how much time was actually passing in that episode, but these were the same questions we were getting.
Yeah. No, but this is different. This is different. This is not accepting the fact that she just jumped and it looks cool as fuck. Like
so here's the thing.
Just
like,
accept that.
Let's just say she has verb, right?
Yeah.
Like she can dunk the basketball, right?
She's a ninja.
No, but let's
ninja.
say she can dunk the basketball, right? Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Like she's little, but she can dunk the Muxie Bogues can dunk the basketball, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's got to jump.
flat.
He's got to jump a little higher than a person, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's possible. I'm gonna look up his height and Arya's height.
Okay. So I'm assuming that if she's, I don't know, his height around there, and she can almost dunk, or not even dunk it, but almost dunk, then she can possibly get higher than the actual Night King, right? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I think that the way the scene looks after watching, like, I think I've seen
5'1".
the episode straight through 3 times now,
and Muxie Bogues?
but I've seen that scene like 20 times now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the thing is that you tell, like, the wind blows, and that one, like, lieutenant, like, looks back, and then you get the front shot. From Bran, where the Night King's about to pull the sword. So I think it's more of a choosing which shot they're going to give you. They can give us the shot that's been done over and over again, which is someone jumping off of somebody or jumping off of something and getting that long jump arc view, which Game of Thrones already done with Arya when she was when she was blind, running from the girl, and she jumped off the thing. They instead gave us the killer. I mean, it's such a good gif. Is that scene of her flying out of nowhere from behind him. And we couldn't get both shots. Both shots won't work that way. We had to get the view of where did this come from, and that's the view that they gave us instead. But that's obviously explained that she's an assassin, she's a ninja, she's a faceless man, she's no one. She jumped off somebody or something or out a window. Who cares?
I mean, I don't think
she
that
killed the
means
Night King.
at this point that shouldn't be explained. And the fact, did you see the other White Walker? His hair kind of like flew or whatever. It's like she's a ninja. Like she ran past them.
Yeah.
So So back to the ninja thing. So I'm assuming because they showed it in this episode how she can move around without anybody hearing her.
Yes.
Right. They show that. So the other questions that are coming up is like, well, how come she just got through all these all these walkers to get to the Night King, and I'm like scratching my head like. She's a ninja. Like, I thought they showed you visually what she can do.
Yeah. I mean...
No, and she had just gotten back her confidence. She started fighting... Okay, she was in open field, which it feels like the only way to fight these things. When you get back into a corner, I mean, I guess like natural reaction, which is the way they wrote it that way, to give you the 3 segments. They said that they broke the episode down into thriller, suspense, then horror, and then action. Right. And the end obviously was action. And it works because she got her confidence back. She started to revert... not completely. She was still being brave.
She got hit in the head.
But she was, running again.
Yeah, she was afraid.
We hadn't seen that since she was blind. Scared. Yeah, exactly. So she was scared. So she was losing some of her confidence, which means she's losing some of her skills because she's not focusing and thinking the way she should as an assassin. Right. And then that was what was awesome about that callback of her telling her, and her reminding her, this has always been my destiny, and just taking it on like I can do this, and I know how to do this, and she had the tool to do it as well. My only, I don't have any complaints. I think there was just certain things that would made it a little bit more enjoyable for me. To me, it's spot on, great. I wouldn't change anything about it. I'm fine with it. I would have maybe liked a little bit of a squared up toe-to-toe with Theon, as opposed to just go running and then get the spear broken.
I wish he had a sword. I wish it was more of a sword type situation than him just trying to do the spear. Yeah. But you know what? Theon went out the way he should, and they did great by his character the way that he went out.
Yes.
Protecting Bran by the tree. I mean, he was the only one there protecting him. Everyone else, all the other Ironborn were dead and weren't doing much, but Theon stayed, up to the very end. So you got to give him that.
I personally was looking for Theon to lay down his life, not by running at the king. What I was hoping was maybe the king throwing something at Bran and him throwing his body and taking whatever it was. That's what I pictured, but I don't mind the way he went out. Even knowing that he didn't even get to touch the Night King, it's like my wife said, the old Theon would have ran away from this whole situation. For sure. He probably wouldn't even be there.
Exactly.
Let's just start by that.
Yep.
Yeah, so he did redeem himself in my eyes.
Yeah. No, and it's incredible because he's not even the old Theon. He is a better Theon.
Yeah.
Old Theon, like MSK shared a meme about it started from me not caring about Theon, which we didn't, until he was one of the first to kneel down before Robb, and he wasn't even the first. He was like the second or third when when they named Robb the King of the North. He was like the second or third to swear his sword to him. He was always kind of a butthole, you know what I mean? Yeah. He was a jerk to Tyrion. He was a jerk to Jon Snow. Yeah. So
he was a douchebag. That's what it was. He was a big douchebag.
He was the D-bag of Winterfell, and so we really didn't care about him. And then it got to the point where we despised him, and then then it got to a point where we, like, in the meme that you sent, then we were sad for him. We felt kind of bad for him. It's like, he's broken, he's frightened, he's scared, and he wishes he was someone better. And the moment that he changed was thanks to Jon. That speech of you're both Stark, you're both Targaryen, Stark and Greyjoy, and and then on top of that hug from Sansa when he came back at the end of it was the second episode when he came back, and just all of that, I think just made him feel better about who he was. And then Bran, like we said in the reaction, he gave him that double. He told him not to be concerned of what he did to him anymore, and then he told him he was a good man. Theon came not even full circle. He elevated. He didn't turn back around. He became something better. Yep. And it was a great way to go.
No, for sure.
And then Jorah, pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, the thing with Jorah is that Jorah's was really touching because he went through like hell, going, proving that he was worthy of protecting Daenerys, and that moment didn't even have like a little speech of like I love you or I miss you or whatever, or I'll miss you or whatever.
No.
Like it was just the look of giving her like, look, I'm fighting for you and this is all I ever wanted. And I think she understood that at that moment, like completely, and that's why she was so down. And you see the dragon come up and kind of like, like protect her in that moment because like she was already down that Jorah sacrificed himself for her, and I think that scene was very good too.
Yeah, I
think
he was in the friend.
Like the dragon was consoling her.
He was in the friend zone the whole time. There was no chance for him. Friend zone all the way. So he just
all the way.
So yes, all he really wanted was to protect her. She didn't see that. Yep. She saw something else for a long time. She thought it was more than just protection, but really, he was obsessed with her, and all he wanted to do was protect her. Which he did.
Yeah, and he did.
Yeah, it was healthy. He loved her so much. He had no interest and because it was even like Dariana Harris called it and Tyrion had called it, but he never. In other words, if she would have willingly loved him back,
Right.
of course he would have most likely acted on that.
Yeah.
But he loved her so much that he had no interest in taking away anyone else she loved instead, or forcing her to love him, or
Right.
trying to screw her over because she didn't love him back. He had no interest in that. He loved her so much that he just wanted her safe and wanted to keep her safe and wanted to see her succeed and wanted to help her as much as he can. So it was a wholesome in that aspect love. It just started. Unfortunately, he was a spy, but like what happened with Varys and what's happened with a lot of people who follow her now, they started in one direction and she won them over.
Yeah.
And we'll see. Hopefully she's winning them over now,
Yeah.
because this
Well,
is the moment.
I have
we
a
needed to
feeling
see
now
in
that they
Winterfell.
won. I have a feeling now that they won the battle, things are gonna start. Hopefully, they're not gonna go back to the political BS. Like if the next episode starts off with "I want to be the king" or "I'm the queen," like if it starts off like that, I don't know if I'm gonna dig that, because they just won a huge battle.
Well,
and at this point, they have to like at least give me one episode of everyone kind of like, all right, let's plan on just getting to Cersei and just
I think
finishing her off.
I think unfortunately it might be a mixture of two. It's going to be plotting and strategizing, but it is going to be a lot of politics because they are going to need to start rounding up what's left. I don't even know. I'm hoping it will be cool if they somehow summon and send for the Second Sons and the armies that she has left behind.
I think that's
and
the only
Essos.
that's the only thing that.
But
she
outside of that, they got to round up the Tullys. They got to round up the Tarleys. They got to round up if there's any Dornish still left out there. Yara's got to come back with the Greyjoys. What's her name? The girl that helped Bran through everything. And save them.
Mira.
Yeah, Mira. Her family. Remember, she went to go stay with them. Also,
I'm sure
there's
they're
that
gonna
house
team up.
also.
I mean, they have to.
Yeah.
Everyone has to band together now. I mean,
Exactly.
They can't keep going. Oh, I'm with him or her. Like now, it's like them all together against Cersei at this point. They have to figure that out.
I don't think. Well, I'll be surprised if he does. I don't think Jon's gonna make it an issue. I think that now perhaps I don't think Bran's gonna make it an issue, and I think after everything they've been through, I don't think Sam will make it an issue of him being Aegon Targaryen, and I think Jon is not going to in any way tell Arya or Sansa for sure.
Well, once Sansa finds out, if Sansa finds out, she'll make it an issue.
Yeah, I still don't trust Sansa.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if she ends up knowing that he's the true heir, I think she'll make it an issue just to get back at Daenerys. Not to get back at her, but just to tell her, hey, man, like, we want the North for us. Like...
She wants a free North. Yeah, I mean, it could very well go that route. I mean, we don't know. We'll see how it turns out. But I agree, we got to have more battles. And it's even the battles to come are going to be almost upsetting and maybe a little annoying, because after surviving this, like, really, the Gold Company, really, you're on Greyjoy, really, Cersei, this is what is going to do them in now.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah, and it's kind of
unsettling.
like I'm a little worried about that, because last night's episode was so epic. That, I mean, it's the Night King and the way it went down with Arya, and I don't know how they're gonna top that. Like, I'm afraid of them not topping that.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna have a problem topping the this last episode. It's different. It's definitely different. I mean, why you might feel that way is because there's not gonna be any more walkers, any more Night King. We got it. We finally got it. Like, it took us years to get that, right?
Yeah.
That's all we probably expected. But who was it? One of you guys said, well, this show at the end of the day is not about the walkers. I mean, they're part of it, but it's Game of Thrones. It's about the throne at the end of the day. And I know for sure that Night King didn't care about the throne.
He didn't give a damn about it. He just wanted everyone to die.
So we got the fight. We got what we wanted. Yeah. Me personally, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I wanted more from the Night King, not because of how badass the character is.
Yeah, it's a great villain.
But I feel like someone was saying something like, oh, maybe a fight between him and Jon would have been nice before he even rose the dead.
Right.
But something. Like, I wanted a little bit more. That's just me. That's the only thing that I can tell you that I have a little issue about.
That was the build-up.
Yeah.
The build-up was going to be, to a fight between the Night King and Jon Snow.
Right.
I mean, that's what it felt like since Hard Home, especially. And, every moment, it always felt like the build-up was, and we felt we were going to get it. And the next thing you know, started raising his hand, started raising the dead. And Well, what do you know? It was Arya. I mean, it's even funny because in one of the behind the scenes things that HBO has released, they were talking about when they did the table read for it, and like everyone in the room was like, oh, you know, like because they're all fans, just
Right.
they're actors and they're in the show, but they're fans like we are. But I don't know if it was a joke. It didn't look like it was a joke, but they said that Kit Harington was pissed.
That's
He was
funny.
like, what? No, I was like, it's got to be John, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
That's funny.
and I don't think that was coming from an actor. I think that was coming more from a fan, and he's obviously a huge Jon Snow fan because he plays
Right.
Jon
Jon
Snow.
Snow, yeah.
So for him also, it hurts double
Yeah.
for him to not get that fight. You know what I mean? That we're hoping for.
Also, we don't know how they
Like it.
filmed it, right? So
Well, they
we
filmed
don't
it
know,
for like what,
we don't
50
know
days or something?
Yeah, we don't know if they actually filmed that
55 days.
fight and they never went through with it.
Yeah, true. They probably did like
It's safe to assume they didn't because it was in the script. They said I think they were saying that they've known for 3 years now that it was going to be Arya.
Yeah.
I
Right.
guess that's when R.R. Martin had released it to them. And on top of that, actually, she's pretty funny, man. She's such a great actress. And she was talking about that they had called her about 18 months ago and told her that she was going to... I mean, because you see in that episode and you see it, she does like 95% of her own stunts. They only use a stunt double for like when she's jumping off of a building to another building.
Yeah.
But for the most part, she does all the coordinations and everything.
Yeah.
And they were saying that she was like eating a plate of cheese fries in Boston when they called her and told like, yeah, you need to work on your stamina and cardio because you're going to be doing a lot of training. And it was just to get those, 15 minutes of action. It was a lot of training, a lot of training.
No, I mean, I'm sure just her scene alone when it cuts to her just chopping up the White Walkers. I mean, that's the best scene aside from the ending. That's the best of any character in that episode because she's truly like
everyone.
killing all these people on her own. And I mean, it's crazy. And then you see Davos. I think they put Davos there just like as us watching her, like going, man, she's a badass. Like it's crazy how
no, and it's crazy because that's where she got so much more oomph too because we're not used to the Battle of the Bastards, Hardhome, the fight at the wall. Every battle Jon Snow has been a part of, he's the game changer. He's the playmaker.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the quarterback. He does something. When he took out the lieutenant in Hardhome, and that's when they found out Valerian Steel kills them. When he was fighting and fell into the water, protecting Daenerys and the rest of them so they can get on the dragon and get away. Like he's always the main piece, and for the first time, he was a role player, a great role player like Jaime, like Brienne, like Grey Worm, like Jonah, but he wasn't the game maker. The two actually biggest game makers were Lyanna. She bought them a lot of time when she killed that giant.
Right.
It cost her life while she was at it. And Arya,
Right.
Arya was the most impactful warrior here. She was the hero of Winterfell, of this battle, of the Long
for
Night.
sure.
And we're also not used to seeing that. And I think that's what really just got everyone by shock and just like really just made the emotional explosion everyone felt when that moment happens because you really didn't see it coming. Everyone theorized about it. Everyone said, hey, maybe it's but we were, once we're in the middle of the battle, we're just, again, so used to Jon being the hero that I think it just caught everyone off guard. I don't think too many people really thought it was going to happen until it happened.
No, it completely caught me. And then when it finally happened, like I told you in the reaction episode, like I thought she was dead. I thought the Night's King was gonna kill her.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be awful. And then she does the trick, and I don't know what's wrong with these fans, man. Like honestly,
they're just not enjoying it anymore, man.
Like even you saw the Rotten Tomatoes rating. It was like
82%.
I mean,
72%. 72%.
It's Rotten
That's
Tomato.
garbage.
I don't really go by that.
I understand, but like at the same time, there's other fans like on social media. Like I understand the episode was dark, and like that's one complaint that I get it. We couldn't see everything, but I also understand the production aspect of it, of why they did that. Like they had to hide, all the CGI and everything, and plus they wanted to make it dark to make it look like what they're feeling, what the characters are feeling.
This is
like,
their darkness. Dark. This is the end for them. You gotta see the visual part of it. This was their end. This is where they were all gonna lay down their lives, just to try to battle something that seemed unstoppable for them. It was running them over. It really was gonna kill them, if you really think about it.
Yep.
So this was the long night. This was their long night. So
it's just insane to me.
I gotta tell you, it's such an incredible trilogy. Like I really could. It's gonna be hard to see how the rest of the season goes now because watching, which I'm definitely gonna do. I'm pretty sure you're gonna do it. I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna do it before the series finale. Just rewatch the whole season again. And this arc right here of episodes 1, 2, and 3 is such an excellent trilogy.
Yeah.
You know, of once you see it all together, it's so much better. Like each episode alone is great, but the three together, just watching them feed one into the other. Oh, hey, how are you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Hey, I still hate you. Oh, I robbed you first before I left you for dead. You know, all that great stuff to, you know, Podrick singing and you know, the Crips and, you know, everything that we were just getting from the goodbyes, you know, like this is my last night. What am I going to do on my last night? And then to have the last night and actually have the happy ending. I mean, at a great cost, we still lost great characters as far as, you know, storyline wise. They lost armies, you know, I mean, they lost hundreds and thousands of, you know, of their people, but we actually got a happy ending. And, you know, Game of Thrones has broken us so much with things like the Red Wedding and Ned Stark and just so on and so on that we were like, nah, maybe everyone dies. Maybe.
Yeah. But I want to ask you guys a question. Do you think people are not liking this episode because a lot of people didn't die? Like they expected it?
No, I don't.
That could be some of it.
I mean, I don't. From my point of view, it's not that. My point of view, they're having problems with the weirdest things about the episode, and like you said, the darkness. I get it. Like that's a legitimate thing for you to be.
It's understandable.
Concerned, right? But the other stuff is like,
to an extent.
Whoa.
I guess if your eyesight's really bad, this is a very annoying episode. But
the thing about the darkness is like it's understandable, but it's not gonna ruin the episode for me. Like that scene with Arya, I could still see everything that's going on with Arya, and it's amazing. Like it's not gonna ruin the episode. You get me? Like not missing out on some
the
fighting.
Other characters, if you look at the other characters, how dark it was, how dark they're fighting in this darkness, and it didn't ruin it for me, and I get it. I was understanding it. Yeah, I had to put my PC a little bit brighter than I usually have.
Oh no, but it's harder on PC. I'm sure it was super dark on PC, but
but it didn't take away because I was understanding what was happening. So I don't know. For me, I don't think the people are having problems with why that people didn't die. I think it's just how things happen. I think it's just Arya taking over at the end. All that. It's just what they're having problems with.
Personally, the only times I found it a little too dark was during the dragon fights, but I think that's what they were going for. We had them colliding into each other. We had them losing the Night King and not being able to find them. They didn't know if he was above them or beneath them. Like it worked for me. I was like fine with it. I was like, yeah, I'm getting what the characters are going through. They can't see in this right now, and they're having
and it makes sense.
A hard time in this fight because of it.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense, and especially when Daenerys and Jon hit each other with. I mean, dude, it's pitch black out there. It's gonna happen. Like they're gonna hit each other, and then they gotta maneuver around each other. And you know, I understand it's dark, but like at the end of the day, it's still an amazing episode. I really don't think it deserves anything less than like 90%.
Yeah,
you know,
I think 90 is a fair game. Yeah. I think 90. If you're gonna go lower, just leave it at 90. Like 90 should be where it should be, and not 75, man. I was
checking to see if Game of Thrones was maybe something that was consistently not getting the best ratings, and no, Hard Home was like 98%.
90, yeah.
So they had other ones like it's ridiculous. So like other ones are getting 90-something%, and this is right up there.
Yeah,
this is right, exactly. Same director.
Same director. He directed like the top 4 episodes of Game of Thrones, and for him to get like a 70-something because it was a little bit dark, like. I don't know, man. I really don't agree with that rating at all. Like the episode was amazing.
I don't either.
And you ask anyone that watched it, they were like, even if you liked Hard Home more or Battle of the Bastards more, they were still very entertained and loved this episode. And I don't understand the other fans that are kind of like hating on it. I just don't. I have no clue. To the extent that it should get like a 70. I don't see it.
Listen, the visual that it took. In fact, just put it this way: when that witch went and light up all the swords for the Thrakis, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. The visual of those guys riding out into the night, all right, and then seeing that light just dim little by little, like it just kept, and you had hope. Like I'm sure everybody had hope at that moment. Like these guys are writers. These guys are gonna do it, right?
Yeah.
To see that I was so like, crazy for that scene because that scene
It was too quick.
Yeah,
it was too quick. It was scarily, which is what they was doing. They were doing the thriller, the suspense, the horror movie monster buildup.
Yeah.
And that's what that was. Like here we are, the Thrakis are badass. I'm like, all right, we're going straight into a battle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna get the action sequence. Like the battle's starting, we're gonna get them right in, and they're gonna show them cutting through a bunch of walkers, and then probably 2 or 3 lines deep, they're gonna get overrun or whatever. But to immediately
done.
Basically genocide an entire race.
A whole race done.
Destruction.
Wow.
That's what that was. Destruction. I need to watch the episode just to see when, because you brought up you brought up how they set up different genres within the episode.
Yeah.
And I want to see how long it took for them to build up the suspense, because I'm pretty sure nothing happened like war wise. I'm pretty sure it was like 15 minutes in until something really
easily
really
until
happened.
the first line hit it really didn't get very battle-y until the right when the Unsullied were spearing into them,
right,
and Grey Worm dropped back to have them light the torches, and then they brought Melisandre out to light them. Like that was the moment that it was actual like sword play and shields and stat, and that's when Sam got knocked down and Edison sacrificed his life basically to save him unknowingly, and that's when it was getting very battle like, and that's when it became a battle scene again. But they did have that suspense, and then they went back to horror and suspense again after Arya had her moment when she busted her head on the side of the wall.
That was awesome.
And then got scared, and lost her confidence.
Yeah. The horror aspect of that episode was perfectly done, because you see her going through the bookcases.
Oh my god.
That
was amazing.
It felt like a horror movie. Like I was watching a horror movie.
Yeah. That was amazing. They're running through the halls.
And as an actress, like she has to feel like she owned this episode. Like I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how any other way. Like she has to feel like this is her episode completely. Like looking back at her career, she has to know that this is like the episode that really like made her a badass.
Yeah, the name of the episode could have easily been Arya's Long Night. You know what I mean? Like we'd be like, oh yeah, I get it. Like I get it.
Right. Well, even if she died, man, it would have been an epic way to die too. Like, I mean,
yes.
I just thought it was a great episode. I mean, there's flaws in it, sure, but it's not gonna outweigh the positives that came out of it.
I just hope that people man, just like it's just like
it was it was a great payoff.
I just hope that people just enjoy it, man. Enjoy the ride. You guys spent all these years watching this. Stop it right now. Just enjoy it. When it's all done and over, criticize whatever you want. Yeah. Give me all the criticism, but in the meantime, just enjoy it, man.
I mean, I understand criticizing like your shows. We do it all the time. I mean, we wouldn't have a podcast if we didn't. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, like,
exactly.
Does Arya know? Like, does she fly now? I mean, come on, man. Like, that's not a legit question.
And I'm not even trying to say like, because some people are gonna say, oh well, you guys are only like Game of Thrones fan, and you're gonna that's your baby, or you're gonna protect it. Like we didn't even get anything for this. This is not about that. I'm not sure what you feel, if that's the best show that you've ever seen in your life, because I know for me, it's one of the top ones, but it's not my favorite show. So
I don't know. It's getting pretty up there for me,
but I'm saying it might be for you, but it won't be for me. So what I'm saying is just like it's not about that. It's just like, man, like enjoy the damn. Stop criticizing the minor stuff, man. Just
you know what it is that people are looking for something to criticize already. Like as soon as the episode's done, they're like, okay, no, something's wrong. How about just appreciate what you just saw?
Yeah, what do I meme? How do I meme this?
Yeah,
exactly. How to make it funny. Maybe that's what it is.
How is this material for my comedy act?
Exactly.
Which we do here. Don't get me wrong. I'm looking at notes right now. Like episode 1, the dragon carpet ride. You know what I mean? Like it was, longer for my personal taste. It's not bad though. I'm not gonna say it's a bad episode because of that moment, and I even get why they did that moment, and I wouldn't take the moment away because it was part of the build-up to lead that we need to know that Jon can ride a dragon, and we need to see the two of them interact in that way to build up towards the heartbreak of the relationship later. I get it. So yeah, we do the same thing, but to not enjoy the episode at all or say it's garbage is insane. Yeah. It's pure insane.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anyone that did not appreciate. I mean, personally, like my friends, everyone loved it, but overall, like the internet,
same here.
it's just weird. Like the vibe, the things I've been reading about it, it's just like, really, like because of that you're not digging this episode. I don't know, it's just weird.
It's a small percentage. I mean, the same thing happened with Endgame, the same thing happened with the Star Trek movies, the same thing happens with Star Wars, and it probably will happen again now with this one. I mean, it happens. There's people that have such a high expectation.
Like Star Wars is screw. I'm just saying right now.
No, yeah,
like,
I think
I'm not even kidding about this. Like, I'm telling you guys right now, the
Yeah.
last Star Wars is screwed. Like, it's gonna get, the critics are already
A lot of hate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. It's like
Yep.
because
Yeah.
either you love it or you hate it, and there's more hate
Yep.
for those movies than there is appreciation for what it is. You know.
Yeah.
So.
What's
I
crazy
feel-
though, for that to happen to Game of Thrones at this point is insane, because they gave us
I know.
at least, let's say you didn't like last season, fine. They gave us 6 solid seasons.
Yeah.
And 7 was not a terrible season either. It just, it was more setup.
great
They
season.
didn't have like a lot of action going on, but like it was a good season still. So I don't understand now that it's coming toward the end, everyone's kind of like iffy about it. And
I think everyone's just mad. Everyone's mad. Not everyone, but these people are mad that it's ending. So now they gotta crap on the relationship before they get dumped, so they can feel better about it. as she walks out the door. You know what I mean? Like that's almost what it feels like. It's like I gotta make this less sour.
And I guess you're right when you're saying, because I feel like it is about we've gotten so many shocks from this show that I guess people are not getting the actual shocking whatever they want. Like
right.
So I guess what they wanted was what the stuff that I make fun of, which would be like having the Night King just take over the whole thing.
Right. Or everyone
that's
dying.
stupid.
The stuff we always make fun of.
That's
right.
stupid, right? Because honestly, if you really think about it, it's terrible. Like it would be good for, I guess, the bad guys winning or whatever. That's the shocking.
It would be good for shock value.
Yeah,
That's
for
what
the
it is.
shock value. But at the end of the day, like if you really think about it, he doesn't care about the damn throne. He doesn't care about the throne. So why would we even want to go that route?
Yeah.
There's no shock.
I think that's what it is. We're so used to having that red wedding feeling that, someone unexpected is gonna die, that we're expecting it at this point.
Yeah, right.
And that's the producers are smart, the writers are smart to not give us that, because it's
of course.
like to give us like an epic happy ending with Arya is even more impressive to me, because that's the shock. Like
course.
her killing the Night King was more of a shock than anyone else that would be dying in that episode.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
I agree with that. I think the story is the story. They're not trying to be gimmicky. Example, I joked a lot. We got some skits we put on the Instagram and stuff like that. Like I joked a lot about Baby Sam dying. I knew it wasn't gonna happen, and it shouldn't happen. They killed a pregnant woman in the wedding. You know what I mean? Like it would have just been gimmicky to like kill a baby for no reason. You know what I mean? Like and I'm sure children died there. We saw the Umber. You know what I mean? He was what 9, 10. He was a kid and he died. So like but it related to the story. It worked. It was the build up for the army of the undead, and the Night King we already rolled through, was on his way to Winterfell. Like it served its purpose. To just do it for shock value, then you're just being gimmicky.
Yep.
And it's not working for the story. It's just doing it to do it. So I agree with that. I think that they got more shock by giving us a resolution and actually defeating them at the Battle of Winterfell. Like everyone was prepared for, we're gonna get 2 episodes of this, or maybe the Night King wins, or we're gonna lose a lot of people. Like we really were so, and like we just said earlier,
and it's not over.
Game of Thrones.
And it's not over.
Yeah, exactly.
And
exactly.
it's not
the whole
over.
point of it,
So
is that it had to.
So you're expecting something bad. Still expect it. Like it doesn't mean that you're not gonna get whatever cynic thing you're thinking about, but it's gonna happen. But just not the way. I don't know, man. It's weird.
But just to get off
Cersei can't win
of this subject real quick. I wanted to ask you guys, with Melisandre, how did you feel about her knowing that? Because we assume that she knew that it was Arya at that point, right? That had to kill the Night King, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys think that she found out at that moment, or she came into Winterfell already knowing that?
I feel that she found out at the moment. She laid her eyes back on Arya, and Arya was there. Then, because she obviously had some kind of vision, just like she had some kind of vision about Jon. She had some kind of vision about Daenerys. She did have some kind of vision about Stannis, and it does everything. It's almost like what Bran said as a three-eyed raven.
It all comes together.
You to where you need to be.
Right.
Exactly. So then, when she saw Arya there, then she realized that's what that vision was about. that was about, and that's when she said many blue eyes. When she said she saw her killing different colored eyes, and she said blue, we took it like Tormund blue. There's plenty of blondes in Westeros and that have blue eyes. Targaryens too. And they say no. She meant like no, those are the blue eyes. She's the key. Don't know how, but she's the one to do this. And that's why she had that callback, because it was a callback for her as well. She just knew she had to be there. And as she was seeing the players, she knew what had to be done. Lighting all those swords on fire with the Dothraki. I was joking about that when we were rewatching with my wife when she rides up to, Jorah Mormont. And it's like, how is he not asking, like, who are you? Like, he hasn't met her yet. Yeah. And like, who, like, do you know what's going on here right now? Where did you come from, lady? Like, do you see what's about to happen? And he's just kind of looking at her like, okay, yeah, all right, she belongs here. Like,
that's
she's
funny.
Like,
and she hasn't met him.
Speak your tongue. Yeah, it's insane. And then she does the Valhalla Morghulis to Grey Worm, but he was already. But remember, they're used to the red women over in Essos. They have a ton of them. They're in Marine and all that, so he knew right away what she was.
Yeah, I think she did meet Grey Worm though, because she went to Dragonstone to meet Daenerys. So I think she
exactly. Yeah. Again, she's been put on a path, and what she's been doing now is she doubted herself a lot, which she did. She did a lot of wrong, and she overly invested. And that's almost kind of like the circle for her character,
right?
And the enlightenment of her character. Still a bad person overall, but what made her a bad person was that she got so cocky and confident of the vision she was having with Stannis that she just went overboard.
Yeah, she messed that up.
She was,
she really wasn't putting it together.
His daughter. Yeah. Like, she went all in as opposed to being more interpretable and interpreting her visions and her sights and understanding what can and what cannot be, and not be so certain about a specific path and just kind of let the path take you. And so she went that route, and then she gave her life, to defend and put her part. And so Davos got some satisfaction from that. He never got back what he wanted, which was that little girl. He lost his son in the other battle, and Davos is the same thing. Basically his new family is the Starks, and
for sure.
Incredible to see that. And we'll see more now from a lot of these other stories.
With but for sure I agree with that. I think she did realize it at that moment, and just like with the audience, like realizing at that moment that Arya is gonna do something special, and maybe not kill the Night King at that precise moment, but she was gonna do something. You
play back to what episode 1 was, and then a lot, of course, what episode 2 was. Because episode 2 really prepared us. It's almost like that melody has been playing in our head since the beginning of episode 2, and then they just actually put it out there, because like that's how we've been feeling since they knighted Brienne, and Theon came back, and Sansa spent time with him, and Jon unfortunately told Daenerys what the truth was, and Sam giving his sword to Mormont. It's like all this stuff, like we've just kind of been feeling the end and the doom, and to actually have a win at the end.
Well, episode 2 did a great job of giving us reminding us of why we like these characters. That's what episode 2 did, and even up to Theon, like when he saw Sansa, Theon's pledged to Daenerys, and he just kind of like, oh hey, what's up, Daenerys? And he went straight to Sansa and say, hey man, I need to like redeem myself to your family, I want to fight for you. And that's like a huge character development for Theon, and it just, that episode was just to set up our feelings toward all those characters, and that way it pays off in this at the end of this episode.
Exactly. No, it was just incredible. And then I really liked the pairings, because you had Gendry with like Tormund, you know what I mean? And they didn't interact much in Winterfell, but they did when they went north of the Wall together. And even though they didn't have that banter, those jokes that they had in that episode, which was great, because like that, the moment when he was saying, running is good, fighting is better, banging is best, and then Gendry's like, we have no women. He's like, we'll make do, stuff like that. That that there's kind of like a kid brother relationship with them. So it was nice to see the two of them together. Seeing Sam alone was actually a big deal to like. He lost his brother in the Night's Watch, and you see the severity of the moment when Jon has to leave him there. He doesn't. Any other moment, he would have saved him. He would have helped him. He would have, died for him. But at that moment, he knew what the bigger picture was. And so to see Sam alone a lot was pretty impressive. I mean, at one point, Grey Worm was near him, but they weren't partnered up. So seeing Sam alone was impactful. Brienne, Jamie, and Podrick together was great. The three of them, of course we wanted that. Davos was alone. You had, the Hound with, Beric. Which is funny, they hate each other first. The Hound killed him at one point. Yeah. And, here they are to the Beric end and saving Arya together.
Yeah. Beric was really trying to help the Hound, like, find, some sort of
who he's supposed to be.
Which is gonna work towards the end. That's what's gonna be the key right there. That's the whole point of this build up. It's seeing him not being so sure until the end, where it's gonna you're gonna see that switch for him.
Right.
And that's the thing. You know what it is? The Hound was always loyal, and that's why he was so able to easily walk away from Godfrey and walk away from King's Landing. He was just a knight, and he just had his word as a knight to be a knight. He never believed in what he was a knight for.
Right,
he never
exactly.
believed in who he was pledged to. And exactly, and now he's building that he believes in Arya. He actually even believes in Jon.
Yep.
When they had their experience together. So he's gonna now become a knight, whether he lives and remains with them when it's all said and done, or if he dies fighting the Mountain. I think 3-1 odds are he's gonna be the one to kill the Mountain. He's probably the favorite. If we're doing gambling odds here, he's got to be the favorite.
Oh, you're gonna lose money, but all right, cool.
You're gonna lose money.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Well, it's like a long shot horse. You know what I mean? Like, there's a favorite horse, but doesn't mean they're automatically gonna win. It means they have the best chances to win. But I think storyline wise, it makes the most sense if it is him and they do come, full circle in that relationship since episode 1. But regardless, that's what he is now. He is become someone that is more honorable, regrets the bad things that he's done, and is actually starting to believe in the people he's swearing his sword to.
Yep. Yeah, he has major PTSD, man. Like in his character, I mean, I understand it, but while you're watching the action and you see Arya doing all this stuff and Beric trying to fight, and he's asking him for help, like. I'm getting like upset at the Hound. Like I'm screaming at the Hound, going, "Hey man, do something." Even Sam is trying to kill White Walkers. You get what I'm saying? Like
Sam's trying to survive.
Yeah,
he put himself in a situation where he just had to fight for survival.
Yeah.
But
speaking of survival,
that was great. I mean, this is just
speaking of survival. Let me give you guys where you can find us so we can survive.
That's a weird segment.
You sound that right? It's a weird one.
I'm gonna take it because the last couple of reaction episodes, I've been destroying the social media segment. So I'm glad you're back, Yopis.
Hey, we're trying to survive here, man. We're trying to survive. So you can find us on our social medias. We got Twitter, we got Instagram. The ad handle for that is FanCorrect. Or you can search for Fanatically Correct on Facebook and MeWe. Or just go to fanaticallycorrect.com and follow us on that. That's going to take you straight to PodBean. You can review us obviously on iTunes and PodBean only. Go through Google Play Music if you want to listen to us with Google. And our email is contactfancor@gmail.com. That's contactfancor@gmail.com. We also have the phone number, which is 786-704-8404. You can always hit us up there and ask us questions about the show, but please let them be real questions. Like nothing.
Yeah, like if Arya could fly.
Not legit.
Don't give me that.
Legit questions.
Don't give me those flying questions, please. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about you, sir.
Are you?
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about.
Are your bones? Yeah, like I said, how do bones punch through stones? So the crypts, there shouldn't have been a problem in the crypts.
Yeah,
it should have been just a lot of rattling and.
If we're gonna start nitpicking why are we watching the shows? No.
Exactly. That was great. Yeah, your piece. He broke that down the way Missandei introduces Daenerys. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah. That's where I am now.
He has it down
Protector of the Realms, Khaleesi. Oh man, like after everything that happened in this episode, does she have like 30 more names now? Like, Burner of the Dead, Fighter of the Night. Like, come on, man. Like, how many more names does she need?
You know what part I found funny was when Tyrion and Sansa were talking about their allegiances, and Missandei is like,
yes.
well, if it wasn't for the Dragon Queen, we'd all be dead. So
yeah, everything would be fine. Yeah, we'd have no problems. She goes, yeah, we'd have no problems because we'd all be dead.
Yeah,
pretty much. Nice.
Yeah.
That was nice. Yeah, that was a good moment. And we never talked about that because the Arya thing was so shocking that in the crypt, that moment, like this really could work out if you look at the way it's happening. You have, regardless, Jon Snow is half Targaryen, half Stark. But if he stays with Daenerys, that's Targaryens and the Starks together. You have Arya and Gendry, so Stark and the Baratheons together, and if Sansa and Tyrion end up back together, then the Starks and the Lannisters. So actually, the Starks do end up ruling the Seven Kingdoms at some point, by marrying into every major house.
Yep.
So,
but hey, let's give it up. Let's give it up for Lyanna, man. Like,
I never were waiting to talk about that.
my man, like she went out like a gangster. Like she's more of a leader than I've seen in bigger men and women in that show.
She ran up straight to the giant, screaming like if she was gonna do something.
Yeah.
Like I would, if it was me, I'd be running. I wouldn't be there. I would be dead. I don't know what I would be running the other way though. Completely.
Even though it was like, I'm glad because at first I was like, man, Leanna went out like a punk. At first, like, you know what I mean? Like when he just like slapped her and she and they flew to the side. Like really, that's how they did Leanna. You know what I mean? Leanna, like come on, man, that was just wrong. And then she got up. I'm like, yes, because I mean, you knew she was not gonna just kill that giant and live. You know what I mean? Like you knew that was gonna be her demise, but. You know, it panned out great. I mean, the Giant gave her the opportunity, and you know what a rough way to go. But man, House Mormont, you know, small but impactful. I mean, all the way to the Night, you know, the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, to Jonah, to her. I mean, the Mormonts.
That's
what a consistent.
That's
house.
exactly how we should end this episode, man. Because we're getting to that hour.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're about to hit the hour. Nerdcessity, Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Nerdcessity's Game of Thrones. Watch the next one.
What? Yeah, no, yeah. Nerdcessity would be the next episode.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know what it is. I don't know if they put some cocaine in it or some extra sugar, or I don't know what it is. But for some reason, those Game of Thrones Oreos, if you can fight your way through it and get some at a grocery store, at a Walmart or a Target, and I think they're going for like $500 on eBay or something crazy. But
I can't find any of them. I can't find any of them here.
Yeah, in your areas. Yeah, I still got like 5 packs left. I went crazy in the box, and we kind of been traditionally opening them up every episode.
Every week.
It is.
Every episode he's dude. I mean, hopefully you started the gym because you're gonna be eating an Oreo box every
those
weekend.
Oreos, I don't know. It has the sigils of House Lannister, House Stark, House Targaryen, and the Night King. So now you can eat them in a moment of silence for the Night King. But I don't know. It's so satisfying to look at.
Oh my god,
those sigils and eat those Oreos.
All right, so is the Nerdcessity the Oreos? Is that the Nerdcessity?
No, the Nerdcessity is not Oreos. The Nerdcessity is the next episode. That's what the Nerdcessity is.
Hey, maybe we could get them as a sponsor or something one day. I don't know. It would be fantastic.
No, I mean I'm with Yopis. It should be the next episode. I actually think everyone should take a minute and just rewatch this episode and just enjoy the awesomeness of it, because I mean so many things happen in that like I feel like people weren't really focusing on how great it was.
Nope. And Muggsy Bogues is 5'3", and she's 5'1". It's possible.
It's possible. It's only 2 inches.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, the Night King's not 10 feet tall.
Yeah, the Night King is not 10 feet tall. Exactly.
She didn't get a 10-foot arc. She might have got like a 7-foot arc and then came down from it. The Night King's
she probably jumped on the back of one of the dead. Who cares?
The lieutenants. That's what I said. That's what I said.
Let me check Night King height. I'm sure Google has it. Hold up.
There you go.
The actor.
So we can end this. I just want to end this.
Night King. Hold on. This is gonna take a minute. Night King height. This is for whoever you're talking to.
She put on the face of a crow, flew, then took off the crow's face.
There you go.
To come back to Arya.
Perfect. She's a ninja. It's possible.
Why am I?
I don't see that. I don't see the height here, man. Google's failing me.
What do we say?
Well, it's okay. You know why?
What do we say to the
because he didn't look taller than Jon Snow. So
you know why? Because this is a fictional character. He's definitely taller. And it doesn't
than Jon
matter.
Snow. Yeah. Kit Harington's not the tallest guy. I mean, they keep making that joke in Game of Thrones, which I don't know why. There ain't nothing wrong with a slightly shorter hero. I mean, it's not like Tyrion's on the show. He's a hero.
Yeah, you're taking it very personal there, man.
So. I'm alright, man. I'm pulling Muggsy Bogues height, so I'm alright. So yeah, they're necessity. Oreo cookies. Game of Thrones. I'm gonna watch this episode again tonight. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it again.
I'm gonna watch it again too. I'm gonna watch the behind the scenes because I started it and I didn't get to finish it, so I'm gonna finish that.
Oh,
I work tomorrow.
The 40-minute one, yeah.
Yeah, I work tomorrow. I don't care. I'm gonna watch it.
Oh, well, that's it. So I'm Omega saying peace.
MSK, peace out.
Yo, peace. Peters.
And there you have it, folks. This has been Fanatically Correct. Until next time, you crazy kids. Signing off.
What do we say to the god of death?
Not today.